Hello everyone, we're out here at the compound by the apiary, and last week, 2 weeks ago, we put in our supers for the beehive, and last week Blake and I checked and kind of bummed out because they really didn't even touch the hives, and it was a quick inspection, so we did take some video of it, but we decided not to post anything because it really didn't show anything. But here's a few snippets from last week's video. Blake's getting ready. This may be a very important day. What are we hoping for today, Blake?
Honey.
Honey. We may get some honey today. We might. It's kind of a shot, but we might get some honey. But look at all the flowers we have blooming. Why can't she come up here? What's stopping her?
The queen excluder.
Yep. So there's not really much going on. So I'm just going to close these guys back up. They've just been investigating the frame. Kind of a bummer. So a little bit of propolis on the bottom, but they haven't even really started drawing on these.
It's sad that we didn't get any honey.
Yeah, so they haven't really touched either of the supers. We're not giving them simple syrup anymore. I know they've got to still have plenty of honey in the brood boxes. We're not going to open it up. We're not going to disturb them any more than that. I guess that'll do it for this week, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully we got some honey. See you next time.
Bye.
So as you see, we didn't really have any update. We just did a quick inspection to see if they did anything. We decided just to leave them alone, and now this week we're going to inspect them again, but we're going to do a little bit more of a deeper inspection this week. So as you can see, we've got a lot more of the white flowers, and they've kind of grown up into that hill. I think probably maybe the wind took them. We did have a bunch of these little yellow ones. You can kind of see that there. We did have a bunch of them grow in all over here, and then they're kind of just starting to die off. A lot of different kinds of flowers are out here, so hopefully it just keeps multiplying and growing over the years. Our limelight tree is doing really well, but I think it's nearing the end of its high bloom. And then our two vines over there are done blooming for the year, but they'll come back next year. They're just all camping out, coming in and out. And then it looks like the bee castle's just starting to wake up. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. It's a little early. Wow, these snails are even all over our fence here. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this and see how they're doing, and maybe even have some honey. If we don't have some honey this week, I'm gonna try and move any frames that are empty within the brood boxes out to or into the middle of the hive, and kind of push the honeycombed frames out. So hopefully they'll fill those boxes, which will just help increase the population of the bees, which hopefully will force them up into the supers. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my suit on, and we're gonna hop in and see what we find. Okay, again, we're gonna break into the bee castle one first, and we'll try to go quickly because we got a lot to go through today. I do see a lot of, or I don't really see any ants anywhere around, so the cinnamon continues to work. I did put some more on last week. It seems like it lasts for 3 to 4 weeks, so that is good. Oops. Right. So nothing on the top there, just gonna set it back in front of the hive so they can find their way home. And let's see if we got anything. I don't see anything in these first 3 frames. Doesn't look too promising. I'd like to get to I'm just gonna take a look. If I don't really see much of anything, I'm not even gonna bother taking it out. So this is the very center middle one. It's the 5th frame. They're on this one the most. Oh, you know what? They have just barely. You probably can't even see it, but they have started to line this one, and I'm talking like maybe once or two around the bend, and that's like it. So we're gonna go ahead and close these guys back up. And we're gonna set this box aside and see what we can see in the brood. Wow. That's on there really good. So it has been 2 weeks since I've taken this off. And it is on there really good. All right. So they have put a lot of structure in between and kind of cut off their area from this queen separator. Maybe even they start to even draw a little comb. Nope, it's all just propolis, you can kind of see there. So we'll go ahead and set this down. Try to calm them down just a little bit. I'm going to see if I can scrape some of this propolis off. Okay, so it looks like these first two frames right here, A and B, aren't really touched. So I'm gonna open this up and put those two in the middle. Wow. Wow. It is stuck. This might be why I don't see many people label their frames, because they can be moved a lot. So go ahead and take A out. They're on it, but like they're just walking on it, they're not using it. So we're gonna try to force them to use it by putting it in the middle of their hive. So they are all over C. This is a full nectar frame. Set them right back down in it. And if D is a full nectar frame as well, I'm going to put D on the outside because they've fully drawn out both sides of D. Wow, and that's heavy. So this is all honey. Wow, that's insanely heavy, and it's all drawn out. So I'm gonna go ahead, there's no brood on this at all. So I'm gonna take this and put it on the outside. Ever so gently. Because that is an all honey hive. And this next one is the start of their brood. So I'm just gonna take it out and look at it. Main goal today is to put the, wow. Main goal today is to put the full honey frames on the outside. And if we see the queen, great. There are eggs all over this. There's either eggs or honey. This backside looks kind of the same as this side. Try to clean it up if I can. They do have, let's see if I can't just get them to move out of here, get rid of some of this comb on here. Nice. Okay, put these guys back. It's been a minute, so it has been a minute since I've taken these guys out. Okay. Excuse me, bees. This number 6 and 7 are pretty much all, wow, there's a lot of stuff down there. They're pretty much all, come on, brood. I'm gonna take both of them out real quick. See if we can't clean them up. Ugh. So a lot of drone cells along the bottom, but it's just full of brood. Don't see the queen. But I don't want them to grow like this, so unfortunately I have to get rid of, oops. Fortunately I have to get rid of this brood comb. Sorry guys, if you built it right. I wouldn't have to do that. Okay. Unfortunately, it's like excess brood comb, and it's not honeycomb. So I feel a little worse about doing it, but if I don't take care of that, then it'll just turn into a hodgepodge and yeah, what a bummer. Oh geez, that's a bummer. So this is probably the bad part about waiting 2 weeks to get in here, because you kind of have to get rid of a lot of their sorry guys. So they are getting a little testy. And it does look like they did it on just about every one. They put all that comb on the bottom there. Man, if you know, a lot of it, they're almost grown too, so in another couple of days they probably would have been hatched and I would have been taking dead frames out, but gotta get rid of it. I feel bad, guys, I really do. You had all those extra combs you could have laid in. Hopefully with these 2 frames that I have blank that I'm gonna put on the side here, or in the middle here, hopefully they'll just turn those into brood as well. Brood frames as well. Last 2. Again, still haven't seen the queen, but with all this like destructive, oh my gosh, this is heavy. With all this like destructive behavior. Alright, so we have, this is 100% honey on the back, and there's a little brood on this one side. Put you down. I am going to clean it up. Don't see the queen yet. Hopefully she's on the bottom and all the major cleanup can happen before we see her. But that is a ridiculously heavy frame. Wow. Alright, last frame. Getting a little angry now. So since it's all honey, this is all honey on both sides, but since there's nothing on the back of this one and there's something on the back of this, I'm going to take this and push it over. So I'm just going to move this one over to the outside because it's already fully drawn. And then I'm closing you up, I'm closing you up. And then I'm going to set this one down in there. Ooh. They just got a little more anxious, a little more angry, because we are kind of killing a lot of their eggs. So we'll close you up. So I'm going to take 8 and 7 and push them over. Or I'm just going to take 8 and push it over. And then I'm going to put in the new two new combs. Or 2 new frames, I'm sorry. 2 new frames. Oops. There you go, B. Try to save you if I can. And literally put the empty frames in the middle of the hive. So that way they've got all this room to put new comb on. And it is just jam-packed in here, which is good, but hopefully I can remove this guy and can't even believe this all these frames fit in here. Come on. Okay. All right. So in the very center of the top, I put in the two frames that they haven't really touched. I'm gonna try to smush them over just a little bit, just so that way they don't overgrow too much. And I've got some room to go. So now I got to take this brood box off, and I'll set it right outside here by the super, and then we'll try to get into the bottom here, which is going to be very hard. Alright, up you go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is easily like 40 to 50 pounds. Okay, so some of this is honey, some of this is brood comb, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little more in my smoker to calm these guys down a bit if I can. Just get it in the air and all around. So if it's the brood comb, I'm just throwing it in the apiary here. I don't want to mess with that with the wax, but I will get the but I will take the honeycomb and put it with all the other honeycomb that we've collected over the over this summer. There you go. Okay, all right. So hopefully there's not too much on the bottom, but let's see what we have on our first two frames. So our first frame, and I'm actually gonna set these guys upside down because I don't want to drop them all. So again, they're not really even doing anything for the first like really 3 frames. Flip you guys upside down so I can sit you down quick. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot on the bottom, so I'm going to take 3 and set it outside as well. There are a ton of bees in here. I'm actually just going to set this off. I'd like to set it off to the side. There's There's so many bees. I've never done that before, but I just scrape the bottom just so I can set these guys down. So these first 3, they don't really have much on them. 4 really doesn't have much on them either. Haven't seen the queen yet. Hopefully I didn't just scoop her up and throw her. But I actually do need to start being more careful because Miss Queen Bee can be on any one of these because I have not seen her yet. Okay, so this one looks like it's all honey. So I'm actually going to put this one on the end. And then I'm going to start sliding them over. Take 3. So basically I just took 1, 2, 3, 4 and reversed them into 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'll continue to do that. But I'm gonna keep checking out these guys. Still don't see the queen. Everything looks really good though. Mostly brood on these. I would like to put my eyes on the queen, but I don't know as if that's gonna happen. So there was a lot of structure between the 2 brood combs, but I don't see a lot of like structure or honey or brood underneath these sets of frames. This is just all brood. Barely any honey. And then I may take 10 and swap it with 9 or bring it in one more just so they can have more room. Kind of built that wrong. And I feel like they did that on the last one. I'd really like to see the queen before I do anything with it, but you can see right here they in the middle right there they kind of built the wrong way. So I am going to remove that. I really don't want to, but I am, so hopefully they can build it correctly. Because we want them to be neat, which sucks because it's like the middle of their frame. So I just gently removed it. As you can see, that bald spot in the middle. So we're gonna go ahead and set him down. I still don't see the queen. Hopefully she's hiding out somewhere. One of these last frames. Ugh. This one looks good. Still no queen. And this is all honey, so I'm gonna leave this one on the outside. So I'll leave that on the outside. Close these guys up. Okay. So, unfortunately very destructive. There was a lot of brood comb that I had to get rid of, which had a lot of pupa in it. So it's kind of sad to see that. I did have a really big chunk of brood that probably had 20 pupa in it, and it looked like a pretty solid block. So I stuck that in the super, which I'll remove next time. If they hatch, great. If they don't do anything, I'll just toss it and chuck it. But I really hated. I mean, I probably got rid of close to 100 pupa, so that kind of sucks. But they're all neat. They're all tidy. They're all neat. They're all tidy. I took the frames that they haven't done anything with and put them in the center, so hopefully they can fill them. I kept the honey to the outside of the hive and the brood to the inside, so hopefully they'll start on that. They did start drawing on the super, one of the supers, very little, because now I think they're going to take the new frames that they have to draw out within the center of the hive. I believe they're probably not going to touch the super this week at all again, which sucks, but hopefully it's, long-term gain. So these guys are still really active. You can see, you can't, well, here you go. If you can see that, they're starting to drag out the pupa and tear it apart. If you can see these guys there, they might be trying to drag it. It looks almost like they're trying to drag it in or just help it out, which is very sad. Very sad. I feel very bad about it. Whoa, still zoomed in. So hopefully, maybe they'll learn a lesson, but probably not. But they definitely have taken to this top brood box more, I believe, because it's more centered, like within the stack of the hive. I did not find the queen, but I did do a lot of moving around, so I'm hoping I didn't hurt or injure the queen in any way, and she was just hidden away in a corner where I didn't touch her. But let's go ahead and break into the white painted hive. It'll go a little bit quicker. I'm sure they'll be way more angry, and see how that goes. All right, so for the white painted hive, let's see what we got. Well, the top kind of came off with the lid, which I guess is fine for right now. We'll separate that later. And let's see, there's quite a few bees up here. I don't see many. I still need my tool, but I don't see many much production, but there's still quite a few bees up here, so let's just see. You know what I didn't give them? I didn't get You know what I didn't give them? I didn't give them any kind of pollen patty. And I have some too. So I think maybe later today I'm gonna go and grab some pollen patty and give them both like just a nice big chunk of pollen patty to help out, because we are kind of in a dearth right now. So, oh my word, who'da thunk? Angry bees producing. Right on. So that's our first honeycomb. That's actually going to be for us to eat. Hallelujah. And they've got a little bit on both sides. So they're about 25% on 3 frames. Oh my gosh, who'd have thought the white painted hive would produce more than the Bee Castle hive. That is just, oh my gosh, that is awesome. Ah, that's great news. Oh, I'm super excited. All right, so on these first 3 right here, these first 3, or middle 3, there is one that has about 25% drawn out on both sides, and then the 2 on the sides of this center one here, which the center one is the 6th one. They have 25% drawn on the inside. So in another week or 2, you know, we might actually get some honey from these guys. It's not a massive production, but this is great because they're taken to these frames. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. We'll go through a quick inspection of the brood box, and that's awesome. So they've started. That's super, super cool. Okay, just going to set these guys down here. Here's our queen excluder. Sorry guys. Stay calm, stay calm. Just gonna set it right on top actually of the frame here. Alright, let's dig into the wow, they look jam-packed and tight. Okay. I'm just they seem pretty calm, so I'm not gonna spray them with any smoke. I'm just gonna take my time a little bit and see if I can get this first frame out. This first frame looks like it's definitely going to be the toughest. Oh! Did not want to do that. Let's see if I can get this frame out of here. I know I'm squishing a few bees right now. Come on. Come on, there we go. Okay. So, just about fully drawn on the inside here. There's really nothing on the back. I'm just going to go ahead and dang, I wish I would have done that prior. So I'm gonna take, alright, I gotta move some stuff around, so bear with me, hang on. Try to do this the best way I can. Okay, I had another super box that I was going to set them in. Okay, let's try to unstick you, number 2. I don't know why it's got to be super quick. I don't know why it can't just be calm. Okay, number 2 is free. I wish I had another. What would be ideal is if I had another blank, like empty brood box, so I could set them like in another brood box. I have a little bit of structure right here I'm gonna get rid of. I'm going to set these guys outside as well because Set them outside as well because I don't have any room. All right. Okay, number 3. Just looking for the queen. There's a little bit of honeycomb up top, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now because they already capped it and it's not really in the way, so I'm not seeing the queen on this one, but I am going to leave these guys. I actually am going to take these ones out and just set them over here. There, now I got plenty of room to dig in here. Excuse me, bees. Oops, sorry. These guys are super calm. Okay, no queen. No queen. There's a little bit of structure on the bottom corner right here. I'm just going to remove just with my hand. Set that aside. And I'm going to set these guys back down in here. Okay, number 5. Oh wow, I just got stung on the finger. I'll show you guys in a second. I do not see the queen on here. I probably just pushed that bee a little too hard. But let me get rid of this structure, and then I'll show you the sting on my finger. Really? Touch one thing and a bee gets smushed. Again, I don't see the queen still, but we're only halfway through. But go ahead and take a look at this. So right there, you can see it. That tuft is the butt of a stinger. You can see that right there. Man, I don't know if it's focusing or not, so I'll just go slow out and in because I have the veil on and everything looks fuzzy to the veil. But that's the stinger right there. It's going in, and they like left that poison sac behind. That's actually really cool. You know what's really cool about it is that I was wearing gloves, so I didn't get stung. That was